our money, how we supposed to be leaving an inheritance, all the things that we hear about in church sermons. But he actually added application to the words. And that what actually brought me to this church, because money is not the be all end all. You still have to know that your source is God, and all the resources that's available to us, we have to implement them. So the strategies that he used has helped me. Me and my wife was able to buy a home in the middle of a pandemic, right? And it was simply because we used the strategies that we learned in this business to be able to put ourselves in position to make the best purchases with a low interest rate. So I'm just overjoyed to have Mr. Stokes come in. He has years and years of financial backing. We've learned so much, and I know for sure today you guys will be blessed with this information. So I don't want to hold too much time. I just want to introduce Mr. Stokes to the stage. Thank you.
All right, good deal. Well, I am glad to be here this morning. Everybody doing good today? I'm gonna turn this mic. I'm not dependent on somebody else. You can say you can give somebody else the power to gain wealth, and they can allocate it to me. So when it was just between me and the Lord, I said, okay, I can handle that. That totally changed my life, and not just for me. I grew up in a small town in South Georgia with my five brothers, my five sisters, and a frame house with a tin roof with no indoor plumbing. Now my kids say that was like 100 years ago. No, I'm only 64, so it wasn't 100 years ago. Okay, but the Lord blessed me to become wealthy. But during that same period of time, I've been able to help many other people become financially successful, and many of them have even become millionaires. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Some people are apprehensive about thinking about themselves being wealthy because they haven't been wealthy. Does that make sense? And they're apprehensive about thinking that something like that could happen because they don't want to get disappointed. But, the Lord didn't say he was going to make us wealthy. He said he'd give us power to gain it. So it's totally up to us whether we want to do it or not. Does that make sense? He didn't say he's just going to dump it on us, He said that he'd give us power to gain it. That means we have a part to play. Does that make sense? And that's what my econ is. My econ teaches us how to play that part if we want wealth. Okay? And he even has a purpose for the wealth to help build the kingdom. That's right. So he's very clear in his directions, right? He's very clear in his directions. And so the first thing we're going to talk about this morning is I'm going to give a brief overview of my econs, about 15 minutes, so we can get the concept. Then I'm going to do the how to correct your W-4. Okay? Because what the W-4 does, you heard Tony talk about the fact that after he got in, he was able to get an additional $465 in take-home pay. we typically see between $200 and $500 go in people's households, and they don't owe taxes at the end of the year. Okay. Then we're going to do credit repair in detail, line by line. So if you want to fix your credit, we're going to show you how to do it today. Okay. And because fixing credit is easy, it's not hard. It's hard, like if you don't know how to do it. I used to always kid with my mom, because my mom had an 8th grade education. So she would always say, boy, I don't have no education. I'm like, well, that's not true. So then we would, I just aggravate her all the time. And I would say, well, education is subject specific. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, everybody has education. It's just that society deems some people to have, they give out degrees based on the education they want you to have. But everybody is educated. Right. Everybody. My grandfather was a farmer, and he had a huge education. Does that make sense? Right. He just didn't have any degrees. Now here's the key. A financial education is very important because you could be a doctor, you could have a PhD, you could be a chemist, a school teacher, anything. And if you don't have a financial education, you won't do well financially. I've got a sister that's a doctor, and she went broke, making $500,000 a year because she didn't have a financial education. So then we bailed her out, or at least I bailed her out. And now she has a financial education, and now she's a millionaire. This all happened like 10, 12 years ago. So we need a financial education because what do we do with our money, right? Because money affects us all, right? Right. So that's what we're going to be talking about getting now. All right. So the name of our company, of course, is MyEcon, the Personal Financial Success Company. We call ourselves that because that's what we do, okay? We empower people to improve their finances, but we don't just say it, we actually do it. How do we do it? Okay, we empower people to attain financial success by acquiring more cash flow and using financial strategies. See, we're going to need more cash flow. So think about it. If you had an extra $500 or extra $1,000 of new cash coming in every month, what could you do with it? Of course, you could spend it. But you could invest it every month, and your finances would grow with it. Or you could use it to pay off debt real fast, couldn't you? The bottom line is you could change things in your finances rapidly if you had more cash flow, right? So now we're not just talking about generating cash flow. As a company in the last 18 years, our associates, this isn't counting the money that MyEcon has generated. This is the money that our associates have put in their pocket over the last 18 years. Is over $600 million. So we're getting it done, right? The Lord is blessing us to do it. We're just getting started. The marketplace for this is huge. We're 18 years old, we're debt-free, technology-driven, based in Atlanta, and we have an A+ rating by the Better Business. Okay? So, and this is what I want you to think about. Cash flow is essential for financial success. Okay? See, anything you want to do with your finances, all right? You want a better lifestyle, you need more cash, right? You want to start investing, you need more cash, right? You want to get out of debt, you need more cash to get out of debt because you pay that off quick, can't you? Right. Even more charitable giving. And when God said, I need the power to gain wealth, so we can help build the kingdom, maybe he wants, I love that deal. God gonna give me $100 and I just need to give him 10 to 20. We do that all day. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? Right. Because surely if you give us extra 100, we ain't gonna just give him 10, just the bare minimum. We're gonna say, well, here's some extra, let's do it again next week. So I like that. I like his system. He got a nice system, doesn't he? Now everybody wants more cash flow. So once we realize, okay, we need more cash flow for whatever. Well, so in MyEcon, we help people get cash 3 ways. Financial strategies. So in other words, there are strategies that we use that has nothing to do with selling. Because some people will say, well, I don't like those little business things because I can't sell. This has nothing. You can sell in my income, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. And you can still change your finances and still become a millionaire without selling. So not wanting to sell, not liking sales, has nothing to do with not growing your finances. We're going to show you that in a minute. So we have strategies, products, and services. Okay? We have products and services that you can sell and use that will get you more cash. And we have business ownership. 3 ways to get more cash flow. All right, so let's go through it. More cash flow via financial strategy. So these are the strategies. The first one is what we call our quick cash flow. That's what we're going to do in just a minute. Show you how to actually go to the IRS website, fill out the form, and get you some more cash. Okay? 95% of people that we meet can actually get more cash. In other words, if you get a refund at the end of every year, you're leaving money on the table. Okay? Minimize taxes. So you have to lower your taxes. Okay? Because if you can lower your taxes, that's more money in your pocket instead of the government's, right? Okay? Let's go further. Build great credit. How to have a 750 plus credit score. A good credit score can make you a fortune or it can cost you a fortune. Okay? Debt elimination. I get out of debt. And then how to start investing like the pros. How you can get the same return on your money that the millionaires and billionaires get on their money. Get the same money. Okay? Get a good return on your money. So that's just 5 strategies that we're going to talk about today. Okay? That you can get more cash. Now, then we do have some, so those strategies have nothing to do with selling. It's just implementing the strategies in your finances. Okay? Now, most people that do the strategies, they end up selling. Okay? They end up selling without even thinking about it. Why? Because if they do better in their finances, they're going to tell somebody else. Because they have loved ones and friends and other people that they want to do, that they want to see do better financially, though. Okay? Now, then we have some products. Our first product is these are what we call cash flow products, because these products will bring us more cash flow. You think about it. Every single one of us, almost every day, probably definitely this day, we spend money and generate cash flow buying a product from a store or a business store. So it can't be bad, can it? We do it all the time, right? Now, some people have hang-ups on that. Oh, I don't want to sell nothing. They just want to buy. Okay, well, that's a choice. But now remember, there are consequences to that choice, right? But this particular product is a travel membership. What we've done is we've cut deals with, we bought into a big consortium that has cut deals with travel companies, and we sell travel wholesale. Yes, up to 70% savings off of travel. You can go to Priceline, Expedia, Hotels.com, Cheap Flight, any of them out there right now, and pull up our rate and pull up their rate. Now, we're going to show you their rate. And our price is going to be 25 to 70, sometimes higher than 70% less. Okay? Right now, we do that every day. Because we do wholesale. We didn't mark it up. Okay? Got 110%. We give you 110% cash back, best price guarantee. It's not cheaper. We'll pay you 110% of the difference. Okay? Generous reward credits. Now, we got over 1 million hotels, resorts, 50 rental car companies, over 15,000 cruises, flights all over the world, excursions, activities, and more. We even have over 300,000 what some people call Airbnbs, but really it's luxury homes that you can rent, for 3 days to a week or whatever. And those are pretty popular. So we have over 300,000 of those. So we have the travel membership. Now that membership's only $139.95 a year, and you can use it for your entire family. Okay? Or a person could pay $39.95 one time, and then $13.95 a month, whatever they want to do. So that's that membership. So if you know somebody to do family reunions, or somebody likes to travel, then that's a great deal. I mean, it's going to save you a ton of money. Okay? Then we have identity theft. You know, in America, somebody's identity is stolen every 3 seconds. So we have identity protection, but it also has up to $1 million of identity protection insurance. So if your identity is stolen, one of our professionals in the company, they will help work with you and help you restore your identity. It also has discount legal services. So you maybe need a will, maybe need somebody representing for a ticket, or whatever. It's all discounts with local attorneys in your local area. Okay. Nutritional products and many other. So we have products and services that you can market to make money, or you can use them if you're already using that product to save money. Not a requirement, it's your choice. Okay? And then the last thing is business ownership. Now, business ownership is important. That's the third way to get money. Everybody should have a business. Every person. Okay? Even if it's not my income, I still need a business. Okay? And here's why. Because business ownership is going to get us 3 things. Number one, it's going to give us, obviously, the opportunity to make some money. Okay? But not just make money, it's going to give us the ability to make money without us doing all the work. You think about it, if you ever had a job, or if you have a job, they didn't give you the job because they wanted to help you financially. They didn't give you the job because they like you. They gave you the job because they want you to help the company make some money. Is that where they work? Okay? So when you go into business for yourself, now you have the ability to get other people to help you make money. That's called leverage income. You're not by yourself. Does that make sense? You're not by yourself, all right? Business owners get more tax deductions than people who don't have businesses. So as a business owner, you can start writing off things that can help you lower your taxes. Have you ever heard that statement that sometimes people say, oh, rich people get all them tax write-offs? Anybody ever heard that? But it's not true. Okay? Have you ever been in a situation where you looked at something and you thought it was looked one way? You were off a distance, but after you looked at it closer, you're like, oh, that's what I thought. So here's what they should say. Instead of saying rich people get all the tax deductions, what they should say is people who know all the tax deductions get rich. Because if you lower your taxes, if you take all the money that the government is taking out your check for taxes, or even half of it over the last 10, 15, whatever number of years you've been working, if that money was invested, I bet you would be very close to being a millionaire. You wouldn't be a millionaire. You see. So we have say-so. We have authority. We've been empowered. Deuteronomy 8:18. Authorized to change our finances. People like to say, well, it is what it is. No! That's not true. It is what we make it. Because the good Lord didn't say, I give you, you just got to take what you give. Now that would be, it is what it is, right? He says, I give you power. That means you can gain. We have say so. Now, and the third thing I like about business ownership is you build equity. See, it's nice to get a paycheck today on our work, but a business owner gets 2 paychecks. They make cash while they're working, but their business builds equity or value. Just think about a house, okay? Somebody rent a house for 30 years. At the end of 30 years, or whatever number of years they rent it, they got two choices at the end. They can rent again, then pay the rent next month, or they move out. They didn't build anything for themselves, did they? Okay. They did build something for somebody else, right? Well, when you build a business, the business has value. As an example, the My membership, $40 a month, $39 a month. Well, a person can get one for that all day long. But nobody in my econ would sell them theirs for that. Because once they have gotten customers and gotten some distributors, they're not going to sell their business for that same price, are they? You have some my econ memberships you could buy for $1 million. Because they build it. So my point is, when you build your business, you build equity, and then down the road you have something that you can leave your children, or you can sell it and just get the cash up front. It's your choice. Does that make sense? All right. So now, because of that, business ownership is the fastest way to grow income. 2/3 of all millionaires are business owners, and direct sales and network marketing has produced over 15 million millionaires. So now, bottom line is, we make money in my econ simply signing up people for our membership products and services. And there are millions of people that want to improve their credit, get out of debt, invest, lower their taxes. Millions. So there's no shortage of customers, right? I mean, we got more work to do than we could ever do. Success stories, the way we get people in our business is we simply share with them success stories. You've heard some of our success stories up there. And we got tons more success stories. That's actually an old reel. We got tons of success stories. We got one young lady, she came in our business during the pandemic. She was working for Cricket cell phone company down in Florida, $12 an hour. They laid her off. She joined my econ and built herself a $20,000 monthly income in my econ during the pandemic. Got another young lady that joined the business during the pandemic. She was homeless. Went through a bad divorce, was homeless, and she got in my econ and she built an income of over $10,000 a month during the pandemic. Tons of people in my econ bought houses during the pandemic. So we have to make decisions and make moves to change our lives financially. Okay? All right. Now, a person can get started, and I'm just going to skip over to the end here. I'm going to go over some of this here. Person, can you click on that little thing back down there? One, go to your right one. Okay. A person can get started in my econ with their own business for as little as $19.95 first month, and then $39.95 a month. Or if they want the travel, that's everything except for the travel. They want the travel membership too, then they can get started for $49.95 and then $49.95. And we have people in my econ that have become millionaires with that membership. Some people just make part-time income, and obviously some people don't do anything at all. They still haven't moved yet, but we're gonna keep praying for them because obviously they want to, right? If they didn't want to, they wouldn't pay their money every month, would they? That's right. Yeah, nobody just give you the money to give it to you. I mean, they want to do something. They're just still a little apprehensive. So we just have to pray for them to help them along. So that's what we're gonna do. So the first thing we're gonna do this morning is, I wanted to give you an overview so you know what my econ is all about. And this is the way I want you to think about this. Okay? So you can say this for yourself, to yourself. If I had an extra X amount of cash flow a month, I could, if I had an extra, let me give you an example, an extra $500 a month, I could really roll extra $2,000 a month, I could buy me a fix. Well, if I had an extra $1,000 a month, I could get out of debt real fast. So, see, that's what I'm saying. If I had some more cash flow that I could do fix, am I correct?
Right.
That's what improving finance. Getting more cash. Okay? Getting more cash. Now, so that's what we want to think about. So when you start thinking about your finances like that, now you're ready to succeed. So let's go out here and if you'll go to the internet, okay, and then go to riley.myecon.net. As a matter of fact, we're gonna do it first. Let's go to the irs.gov. So I'm gonna do the W-4. You may get it, you may not quite get all of it this morning, but it doesn't matter because if you don't get it all, don't worry about it. You can hop on. We can set up a Zoom, private Zoom or small group Zoom, and I can take you through it, or Tony can take you through it, or for your finances specifically. Does that make sense? But I want to show you how it works this morning. So, all right. So when you go to the irs.gov. This is the IRS website. They have, okay, so we're going to go up here in the search bar, and we're going to put in tax withholding estimated. Good morning. And this is Melissa. How you doing today? Good morning. I don't see what's that. I'm fan this morning. All right, so click on tax withholding estimated. Okay, so what happens is you ever gone into you got a new job, you go into your HR department or when you first got the job, okay, and they give you a form and they say, fill this out. They'll tell you how it works, they don't give you nothing right. And this is going to determine how much they're going to take out your check for tax. But they don't tell us how it works, right? And they're not being mean. Okay? 99.99% of the time, the people who work in HR, they don't know how to form one. Remember, they're just employees too, right? They're just employees. They just get the paycheck too, right? They're not financial experts, they're just the paycheck. Working hard, right? So they give you the form and they tell you to fill out. Well, what most people do, because they've heard somebody say, or if you ask them, they say, just put down how many dependents you have. That's what they say, right?
Right.
And it's just as wrong as two left shoes. So, because of that, almost 100 million people in this country have the W-4 filled out incorrectly. And it causes their employer to take too much money out of their paycheck for taxes. Now, when too much money is taken out for taxes, two things happen. The person, number one, they lose the access to their money, right? They'll get a partial refund at the end of the year, but they've lost a lot of money. Now, let's say you do that for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. It's a fortune. So that's the first thing we want to correct, isn't it? That's the first thing we want to correct, okay? So let's go do it, all right? So this is how we do it. Well, we used to do this on paper form. Well, now the IRS has an electronic calculator that we can use. Then we can print the form out and you can turn it in. All right? So they made it easier, all right? All right, so, okay, let's scroll down, see if we can find it here. Use the tax withholding estimator. All right, so I don't know, some of you have pencils. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use an example. I'm just gonna take somebody that's, when you fill this out, you're gonna need your W-2 for that week. Okay, your latest W-2 to fill this out, okay? Because it's gonna ask some questions. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna give you some generic. Okay, we're gonna take somebody that's making $50,000 a year. That's a little over $1,000 a week, right? And we're gonna say that this person is having 20% of their money taken out. So they're making $1,000 a week, over a little over $1,000 a week, and we're gonna say the company's taking out $225 a week. That makes sense? Because normally it's that much or more, isn't it? And I hear Alabama has a 10% tax rate, so it's definitely more in Alabama. Okay, all right. So 225, and this is week, and we're gonna say per. So that's 225. We're gonna say every 2 weeks, so that's 450 every 2 weeks, right? So January, February, March, April, May, June. So that's 13. So we've had 15 pay periods. Almost 16, yeah, almost 16 pay periods. All right, so let's go. All right, so it's 6 steps to filling this thing out. So right there, so we're gonna say, we're just gonna say head of household. Okay, so you got 3 ways you can file. Single, if you're single, not claiming any kids, or if you married, filing jointly. Okay, and the other one is head of household. If you're a single parent with children. Okay, we're just gonna do head of household. Just to, one's no simpler than the other, but I would at least put a child in there. Okay, head of household. All right. And do you or will you have a job that regularly withholds federal income taxes? So yes, they got a job, they've been on all year. Okay? Come on down. So then it says, I plan to claim dependents on my tax return. So we'll put the person. Okay, they're not 65, they're not blind, and they're not claimed on somebody else's form. Can everybody see that, or is it too small? Because you can make it bigger if you like. I don't know. Is that too small for everybody? Need it to be a little bigger? Okay. Maybe you can go over here and click on those 3 dots, so somewhere over there, make it a little bigger. Yeah, you can zoom it out a little bit. That better? A little better. A little better? A little more? I know I got some seats right here. I've been here 20 minutes now, so I ain't no visitor no more. All right, so we got next. All right, so next. All right, so we just, that's all it is to the person. So there's nothing hard about that form, is it, so far? Because you know this information, don't you? Right. Okay. Number 2. It says describe this source of income. We'll just say salary, but it wouldn't matter if it was hourly, it'd still be the same thing, right? Okay, come on down. Okay. Select what describes your income from this job all year. They're going to work there all year. They plan to work all year. Okay, good. Thank you. How frequently are you paid? Every 2 weeks. Now let's do twice. Yeah, every 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll do it. Using your most recent pay stub, when was your last payday? So it would have been, just say July 15th. I don't know what that was, but it'd been somewhere around that. In a wages, make that the 16th. Matter of fact, yeah, the 15th is good. 15th is good. So they had 2 pay periods in it, right? Okay, you can come on back down. Okay. Enter wages or salaries per pay period. 1,000, see 1,100, we'll just say 1,175. Okay, well, that's every pay period. They get paid every 2 weeks, so it'll be twice that. So it would be 2,350. Okay, so this is a person that's making a little over 50,000 a year. That makes sense? The numbers wouldn't matter. Enter wages or salaries year to date. So 2,350 times can help us with it. Okay, so we got 6. I tell you what, let's go do this. Go back to the top. Once a month.
Now it's on.
All right.
Go to the old folks. That's it.
Right. So we've had, so the last pay period here would have been July 1st. And the amount per pay period, 4,000. So they make 48,000 a year, right? And the wages or salary year to date, so we've had 6 months. 24, because they're gonna get paid again in the next week. Well, we really could say 7 months, couldn't we? So let's go, yeah, good, thank you, 28,000, okay? Based on information that looks like the annual job is 48,000, yes. Oh, now we're good, the computer's helping us. Federal taxes per pay period, 20%. What's 20% of $4,800? Okay. Federal taxes paid year to date, so 960 times 7. 7 times 9 is 6,300. 7 times 6 is 42. 6720. 6720. All right, thank you. All right, so now select any that apply to this job. I contribute. We're not gonna put money in the 401k. We're not gonna pay for health insurance. We can come back and do all that. Okay. Now, other sources of income. Okay, that's our only income, none of the above. Okay, scroll back up just a little bit. None of the above up there too. Okay, now go down, withholding from sources of any amount of taxes withheld this year from sources of income, none next. Okay. So once again, now we're already on section 2. Now none of that's hard, is it? Now if a person had their W-2 in front of them, filling that out would be very simple. Okay? All right, adjustments to income. Student loan interest. We're going to say they don't have any student loan. Educator expense. They're not a teacher, an educator. Okay, so we're going to skip through that. We'll come back to this for a minute because I'm going to show you how business is going to help. Adjustments earned, no adjustments next. Okay, so they didn't have any adjustments to the income. Okay, all right, standard. Okay, you got 2 ways you can file. The government will give you your deduction. It's about a little over 13,000 if you're single. It's 1.5 that, so about 20,000 if you're head of household, and it's double, about almost 26,000 if you married, filing joint. They just give you a standard deduction, or you can take itemized, go through all, and if you have more itemized deduction from the list that they give you, then you can get the itemized. 90% of everybody files standard. Okay. All right, especially in the South, because you got to be in debt to go itemized. Because the only big one you're gonna get is gonna be interest on your home. Okay. And all right, so we're going to go. Would you like to see if I know? So we're gonna go no, use the standard deduction. Next. Tax credits. Okay, child tax credit. Okay, so we're gonna say the child is what? 12? All right, we're gonna say 5 years. Enter the age of the child at 12 years. Okay? So, what's the date? Child independent, they're not paying daycare. No? Okay. We'll make it realistic. Any amount of qualifying work-related child care, none. Okay. But we are going to get earned income credit, so check +1. Got one child that's under 17, so they can get earned income credit. Come on down. All right. So we're not going to put anything on the business deductions yet. Come on down. So we go next. Okay. Now that's all that they're doing. There's nothing hard about that. This is just this person's personal information. Isn't it? All right, let's go one more. All right, so now this person is expected to pay $12,408. Their tax obligation $953, and so they're gonna get $1,527 refund. Most people be waiting on $5,000 or $6,000. Either way, we can adjust numbers. What if we could get this money to this person now? Okay, so scroll down. All we got to do is slide this. Okay, go just slide that over. And now we can have them start taking out, because they've already taken out more money than this person is going to owe already happened. And we can have them send this money to them. So the rest of the year, they won't take anything out. They're not going to take anything out for the rest of the year. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's go back to, I think it's probably the third one. Okay? Click on the one that says adjustments. Okay. Let's go down here and let's hit certain business credits for reservists, performing arts, and business. Okay? So put 10,000 down there. Let's say this person went into business and they had $10,000 in net deductions at the end of the year. Okay, click next. Now click on 6 and see what happens. See, now because they had a business, it lowered their taxes even more, didn't it? I didn't give a very good example, but, because we didn't take enough out throughout the year, right? But still, here, you can see how when I put a business in there, they lowered their tax. This was $953 before, wasn't it? Now it's down to just $247. So now this person is basically getting all of their money. Okay? So what would happen is, what you would do, you would set up a private Zoom with myself or Tony, whoever, and we would show you how to fill this form out. Typically, people see $200 to $500 more per pay period. I've seen over $1,000 a month many times. That's not unusual. Now they got this extra money, and they can start doing things with it. Everybody good with that idea? That's what we mean by the quick cash flow increase. I've seen people fill it out on Wednesday, turn the thing, fill it out on Tuesday night, turn it in on Wednesday, and on Friday when the next payday, they got the money. And your employer, number one, the employer don't get the money, so they don't have a problem with it. Now, some employers, and I've seen in small towns, some employers don't want to fill the thing out just because they don't want to be bothered with their employee. They think that the employees are beneath them. Some people in HR are that way. Not all, but some, okay? But the employee don't get the money, and they don't have a choice as to filling the form out, and you get your money. Okay, so it's none of this stuff about, well, they say I can't get it. No, you get the money. Okay, and that's the way it works. Okay, anybody got any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Does it work the same for people who are retired?
Yes, ma'am. It does. They have a form called the W-4P. It's the exact same form. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, let's just go forward, and we're going to go down here. We're going to click on the form because the form that's going to actually see if I can find the form real quick. That's going to click. We don't want to print. Okay, let's go back up. I'm looking for the form because it's still the W-4. It's just the calculator fills it out for us. Scroll down just a little bit and see if we can find the form. A little more. Okay, stop. Right. Okay. Okay, come back a little bit. Okay, all right. So I think we have to slide over before we can, because it's going to actually show us the form. Okay, go back up about 2 inches. Okay, slide this slider over. Okay, do it a little more. Slide it out to the, go to where it says, can adjust this more, but this is when they get a refund. So it says here, click on the how to adjust your W-4. Okay, click on the form W-4. Okay, some of you've seen this form, right?
Right.
It's gonna pre-fill the form for you. All you gotta do is put your name, address, road attorney, and sign it at the bottom. Who's got questions? Okay? So this is the first step in my income. This is what we call the quick cash flow income. That could help a lot of people fast, couldn't it? Okay, that's the first step. That's what you heard some of those people on those testimonials talking about. You know? And then when you start telling people around you about that, how you got $300, $500, $1,000, because some people just need the money to make ends meet. And then some people need they want to start investing and they want to start paying off debt. They want to start moving their finances. Some people need another vehicle. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons, you know.
Right.
But the bottom line is their money. They shouldn't be letting the IRS hold it, should they?
No.
Mm-hmm. You know, because if the IRS hold the money, what happens now? You'll have some people saying, "Oh no, I won't be bothered with that. I just want to get all mine." Yeah, well, okay, that's fine. It's still your money. Now, what we can do, we're going to show them how that we can make. If they just want to get it at the end of the year, we show them how to get even more at the end of the year. But it's their money. We just what they want to do. All right. So now we're going to go to the credit repair. Everybody good with that? Okay. So now you can close that out. You can leave the IRS site. We're going to go to Rivey.myecon.net. I'll spell it for you.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Okay. RIVEY dot B with a B. I mean B with a you dot. Okay, Rivey 2. I think it's Rivey 2. Dot MYECON .net. All right, let's log in. See if I can remember my login. Okay. Okay, change that to RIVEY. Might not be able to remember. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Change that to RIVEY 2. Okay, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the password. Change that password.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, really. Yeah, because I don't remember. Okay, so because I've been doing this. Okay, I know I don't have that email, so you can get rid of that email. Okay, all right. I'm seeing. So let's go Rivey, RIVEY 2. All right. I'm sorry.
Saved them.
Yeah, you can try that. I don't think that's it, but because it's the username is definitely not IJS group. That's just an email. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because I'm just going to use the credit repair. I've been doing this on. This week is my first week doing live meetings in 4 years.
Really? Praise God.
Oh freshman, they get, yep, fresh one. I've been doing everything online. And so when I'm at corporate, then everything's already in the system. So I could get there that way if I just had to. All right. So this is our credit repair system. When you log into the MyEcon system, you get in MyEcon, you're gonna see we got the corrected W4, which is what I just did, right? Okay, click on corrected W4. Okay, this is, no, actually, go up and yeah, there you go, click on it. So now there's a video, scroll down, that shows you, that introduces what I talked about a while ago, how to do the W4. Then scroll down a little more. It's gonna take you to a video with somebody filling it out, just like I just did. So everything you need in our system is there step by step by step. So literally you could be teaching this in a week. Okay? All right, so let's go back up to the top. All right, go BMC home. All right, so we got the travel membership, we got it, but let's go to the My Credit system. So this is how we show somebody how to do their credit repair, okay? So that's just a little introduction that's telling them that, fixing their credit is very important, okay? All right, so then scroll down. We show them actually how, there's a video here that shows them how to go in to free creditreport.com and pull up and get a free credit report sent to them, either by mail or online, line by line, okay? Or they can go buy the service from FICO.com and get it with all of their scores and everything on. Or they can just go over to Credit Karma free and get a credit report, okay? It just won't have the account numbers on it, but it'll have the score and all that, okay? So now they got the credit report, okay? Let's go to the next step, okay? Then what happens is when a person is trying to fix their credit, there's a law that's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And this is the law that regulates credit in this country, credit reporting in this country, okay? And it says that anything that the bureaus report on somebody, they got to be able to verify. Okay? Now, where do they get their information from? Because they weren't there when the person signed the contract. Okay? So you have local credit bureaus that gather information from local vendors, and then they take that information and send it to the big bureaus, which is Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Okay? So when a person is trying to fix their credit, they have the big credit report companies have to be able to verify or validate everything that they reported. Well, unless we challenge them, how do we know that they can verify? Okay? So the first thing we do is we freeze our credit reports so that the smaller companies cannot report to them what's on things about your credit. So they can't validate it. And then they have to. Okay. So scroll down a little bit. Okay, stop right here. So advanced resolution services, we go in and we freeze the credit. We do the same thing with Innovus, the same thing with LexisNexis, and the same thing with SafeStream. There's a whole list of them, but these are the main ones. We freeze it. Okay, so let's just go through and request a security freeze. All it is a matter of a person filling out this information about themselves. Say who's filling out the security freeze. Now, here's what's happening in the credit industry. The credit industry is trying to make everything be on the consumer so you can't get help. That's why we do it from an educational basis. Like some companies say, well, we'll do it for you. Well, the credit bureaus, now they've got to the point that when a company sends something for you, they just ignore it. Okay? So we got the consumers filling out this freeze. So click on consumer. Okay, scroll down. Okay, I agree. Continue. We're not going to go through that, but it's just your information. It's just your name, your social, your address, and all that stuff, right? That's all it is. And now you just tell them to freeze and not give anything, any information about you to the credit bureau. That's all it is. It takes maybe 3 minutes each. Okay, so we freeze them all 4. All right, so you can click out that. And we got videos up here on every one of these things, step by step. So it's just, like some people say, well, fixing my credit is going to take a long time. It's going to be a lot of work. Let me tell you, fixing somebody's credit report is maybe, if they're slow on a computer, maybe 90 minutes. Okay? Now, it might take 3 to 6 months for them to get all the results. Because you're going to go through, you're going to freeze everything, you're going to print the letters, you're going to send the letters off. That's maybe half hour of work, maybe. Now, you got to wait 30 days for the credit bureau to send you back, right? Now, then you may have to send them back a letter or 2, okay? But altogether, over that 90 days to 6 months, it wasn't 90 minutes of work. Now, what credit repair companies do, they want to charge you $75 to $100 per month for at least a year. So they're going to go real slow. Real slow. Okay? And you're going to find out in a minute that the only person that can fix your credit is you. Okay? Because the sending the letters part, that's only 35%. That's only a third of your credit report. The rest of it, only you can do. The credit repair company can't even do it for you. Okay? All right, so you can click the back button. We're going to go all the way back to the top. We're going to go out. Okay, all right, so you don't have to do the back button. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, you scroll back down. Okay, go back into it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're on step 2. Okay, so now step 3. We're going to go through the credit report. The first thing we want to do is go through the credit report, and we want to see any errors. You should have one name, spelled one way. You should have one address. And if you got one employee, you should have one employee. You shouldn't have all those different names, employers, all that past, all that kind of stuff, because you just want the form to be legal. And then, because if you got your name spelled a lot of different ways, or you got a married name and you got an unmarried name, they tying all that stuff from years ago to you. So you want your situation right now. Does that make sense?
Right.
Right now, that's what you're looking for. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to fill out a letter as to how you want it just one way. Okay, so let's go up to create a dispute letter. We might mess you up, Tony. I don't know. You may have to. We can save yours and then you can go back. Okay. So, well, he already got it for us. See, he got his name, okay, date of birth, Social Security, all that, okay? So you put all that in there one time. It's just one time. And then any letter that we want to send, click here where it says verification. Okay, come down to where it says identity dispute letter. Boom, that's the first letter. So you have one name. Okay, come down, we're going to do correct, incorrect names. Okay, click that one. So if it's got your name, maybe your married name, maybe your single name, or, different, the way you want it exactly is the way it's going to be on this form. Okay, incorrect date of birth, or incorrect Social Security, or incorrect address. Okay, click address. Most people, they got multiple addresses. You don't want one address. If you got more employees, just put one employee there. Now create the letter. Okay. So make it a little bigger over here so everybody can see it. Those three little buttons up there, you can zoom. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So you see it does the letter for you, right? So you gotta do. Now all you gotta do is print the letter out and mail it. And you fix your credit. Take them about 30 days, that fixes your identity. Okay? All right, let's close that one. Okay, click on the next one we're gonna send is going to be, once you send out and get a refund, then you're gonna send out verification dispute letter. No, it should be verification. Yeah, that's the right one. Verification. So we're going to take all of the different, so let's say that somebody's got negative stuff on their credit report. Okay, here's how it works. Okay, you got to think a little bit like a lawyer. Okay. So you say, well, it was my stuff on my credit report. I don't want to lie. Okay, you don't have to lie. It's their job. They have to, by law, verify whatever they report on it. That's the law. Okay. I mean, after all, they're collecting your information without your authority, selling your information without your authority. So the law says, okay, we're going to let them do that, but they got to verify that it's correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to send them a letter. Okay, scroll down. Click create letter. We're going to send them a letter that says that the law says that you've got to be able to verify everything that you report on me. And you said that I did not pay ABC Corporation on November 5th, 2022. Please verify this. I demand to see verifiable proof. This should be hard evidence or remove it. And if they can't verify it in 30 days, then they got to remove it. So you didn't say it wasn't yours, did you? No, it's their job to verify that it is yours. Well, 90% of the time they can't verify. That's because of the freeze. Most of the time they couldn't do it even if we did freeze it, but with the freeze, they definitely can't do it. They can't verify it. Mm-hmm.
So it's important to send the freeze first.
You send the freeze first,
Then go back
and then go back and do the identity, and then go back and do the verification. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take 90 to 180 days to get all these things done. Now, sometimes they'll send back out this letter and say, oh, yeah, it's yours. Okay? Well, the law also says not only do they have to verify, they have to show us proof that they verified. Okay, so let's click out of this one. And then we're going to send them another letter. So normally it's 2 to 3 rounds of letters, so, it's not much work at all. Okay? Down there where it says the drop-down menu. Let's scroll down. Okay, up there. Method of verification letter. Okay, you said mine. How did you verify it? Who'd you talk to? What written information do you have? Send it to me. And they have to do that by law. Let's go on. Now, why is this so important? Did anybody buy a home 15 years ago? Okay. How much did your house go up in value in the last 15 years? 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. Easy, right? So if somebody's forced to rent because they got bad credit for 15 years, right? So they're gonna tell me they're not willing to do 90 minutes of work over a 6-month period of time for $150,000. They're willing to pay off somebody else's house instead of buying a house for themselves. See, if somebody's stealing from you not losing the money. I used to always say, you do not need a 45 to steal from somebody, to rob. All you need is a bad credit report.
Wow.
That's a fortune, isn't it? You got people riding around in cars financed at 18 to 25%, and somebody else driving the same car at 4%. Hundreds of dollars. That over. This is how. So when I look, this is the way I see it, right? That you always have government agencies and people out here. They say, you know, people are struggling, people are doing this, people got that going on, people got the other going on, and you know, and they always want a program. Well, that ain't gonna do no good, because here's why. It doesn't matter what program the government comes up with. Get that back. Who's spending that? And no financial verification. It's gonna all equal to the same thing. I mean, that's just a fact. Am I correct? So we got to do the real work. Educate people financially, improve the credit, get them out of it. That's the reality. I remember, you know, some people got prepaid phones, right? And they pay more than people. They pay in advance. And they pay more than the people who on contract. Right. You know, so obviously, as long as people don't have financial education and don't have the credit or whatever, then there are going to be people that's going to create programs that's going to take advantage of it. That's just weird. Okay? So we also send that letter. Okay, so go down, let's create that letter. Create that letter. So this letter is a little different. See, it says, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, please be advised that this is my second written request for you to remove the unverified accounts listed below that will remain on my credit report in violation of the unverified item listed below. So we got it down there. According to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you are required by federal law, by request of the consumer, a description of the procedure used to determine the accuracy and completeness of the information, and so on. Now, this is all a credit repair person is going to do for $75 to $100 a month. And some companies will keep you in that thing for 2 years. I mean, if you're paying somebody about a month, why would they hurt? They wouldn't hurt. All right? So, all right, so you can get out of it. So we got 6 videos. And so you can save them. You got, history up there. You can save your history, your profile, your letters, everything you need. You can use the same system for the whole family. Okay? All right, you can scroll back to the top. Okay, hit the back button, and we're going to come out of that. We're going to go back to the videos. Okay. Step 3, we're going to actually check the credit report. We show you how to read the credit report. Most people don't know what they don't know how to read the credit report. They don't know what it means. See, we can't keep making decisions about finances without the information here. We can't possibly expect a good result. I remember back in 1978, my dad died in 1978. And, years later, I said, that was a shame. My dad died, and there wasn't a single person in our family that knew how to pray in faith for healing. They just waiting on a doctor. That's bad. And the whole family, that's horrible. But you got a lot of families like that. You got a lot of families. Okay, so let's go to step 4. Now, all of these, okay, go back up just a little bit. I'm sorry. all of these common credit errors, click on that. All of these little addendums in blue, it gives you even more detail. Everything you need to know about credit repair. And we're constantly building this system. Okay? All right, you can hit back button. We can get out of that. Or whatever we got to do to get out of that. Okay, so let's go down. Step 4, it just shows you how to start the dispute process, how to create the dispute letter, all the stuff that I just basically went over, but it's much more detailed. Okay? Okay, come on down. Okay, so it gives you the address is already filled in. 90% of work is already done. Okay. Tells you all about the letters. If you just want to go get the letter, keep going. Okay. Now, stop right there. In the credit business, in your credit report has 5 sections. You ever took a test in school and maybe math was one percentage and something else was another percentage? Okay, this is the way credit works. It's 5 parts. The payment history. Have you made your payments on time is 35% of your credit score. Okay, the credit score can go from 300 to 850. Everybody get 300. The highest you can get is 850. Okay. So what happens, you got 550 points in the middle. So payment history, if you make your payments on time, is 35%. So 35% of 550 is 192 points. Okay, so you get 192 points from that section. So obviously, we got to do some stuff on the other sections too, though. Okay, the second section is what's called credit utilization. How much of your authorized credit on credit cards, revolving credit, do you currently owe? And that's called credit utilization. So let's say somebody has a credit card with $1,000 limit. And they owe $900. But they make the payments on time. They're like, what's what happened? Well, guess what? It's hurting their score. Because the utilization is too high. They want the utilization definitely under 30% and 20% is better. Now, most of the credit reports that I look at, that's the problem, credit utilization. I looked at one the other day, it was 101%. This is what I see all the time. They're making payments. Even if the person had an authorization of 1,000 and they owe 500, and they make the payments on time, it's still hurting their score. And because people don't know that, they keep the utilization high. They just make the payments. So it's a system that's created that the people don't know the rules is going to hurt them financially. We got to pay the outstanding balance down under 30%. Under 20 is better. Who was it? It was what was the pastor's name last night that was there? And he was saying that when he paid his debt off, his score just jumped up. He and his wife. That happens all the time. As a matter of fact, when we got in credit repair at my econ, it was really we were blessed to get in credit repair because I didn't know anything about credit repair. Okay, I didn't really know anything at all about credit repair. We were just helping people get out of debt, but their credit scores were going up. Okay, so then we said, oh well, let's help them with the rest of it. But but the person just got out of debt because the utilization went down. And so my daughter, my mentor, she says, well, Dad, if I got credit and I can't use it, what's the point? You know that answer, right? I'm like, you can use it, but even if so let's say somebody had a limit of $1,000 and they charged it up to $800. Well, they got to get that down quick, don't they? Definitely within the next 30 to 60 days, or 90 days, they got to get it back down, okay? And then the whole idea also is to build credit. Keep raising your limits so that your 20% is higher. Does that make sense? You know, so your 20% is higher. Because some people have $500 limits, they have $800 limits, and they keep that thing right up at the limit all the time. But we got to get that under 30% and definitely under 20%. Okay? So that's what this credit utilization is all about. It's a video that tells you everything you need to know about credit utilization and how to do that. Yes, sir.
So in some cases, you can request for an increase to increase your credit score, even if your utilization is over. And, you can actually request to increase your.
Absolutely. And that will help you. So let's say that you owed $500 and you had a limit of 1,000 and you requested to raise it to 1,500 or to even 2,000. If they did it, then that would lower your utilization with it. Yes. And you do want to periodically, at least once every year, go in there and do that because it'll keep raising your limits. Everybody got it? What happened to my computer expert? I know what happened. She said, okay. She said, no, he be changing it. He be giving me the wrong address too much. So. No, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now I'll give Melissa the wrong address. All right. So that's how we do that. Now that's why I say, so there's only two ways to lower your utilization. Pay it down, pay the debt down, or raise the limit, right? So you can work from both ways. Now that's why I say the credit repair person cannot fix your credit. They're not going to pay your debt down. And they can't raise your limit. Only you can do that, right? See, we need to be empowered financially, just like God. Just like me. I give you power. And that changed my life. Because I was happy with that. Because I was like, okay, this is good. This is good, Lord, but I ain't dependent on other folks that may or may not. I was like, okay, I can handle this. All right? So now, then we even give you places where you can go get new credit. Okay? You've got Self, which is a bank. They'll give you a loan up to $3,000 with no credit and no credit check. They don't send you $3,000. They take $3,000. You can do $500, whatever you want. They take the money, they put it in escrow, pay you a little bit of interest on it. Then you make payments. When the payments is the loan is paid off, they'll send you the money. Okay? But what's benefiting is while they're doing that, they're reporting every month when you make your payment to the credit bureau. So you're building a good credit score and you're building utilization. Does that make sense? All right? So we got a whole list of those that you can go to. Okay, scroll down. All right, so everything you need to know about building your credit. We got 24 minutes of video, plus we got all those little addendums, and none of those addendums are videos. You know, everything that you need to know. Like one addendum we got, let's go up. Melissa, let's find the one that says, don't go too fast, a little bit more, sticks up. Keep going. Keep going. It's going to be under, stop right there. Okay, so it tells you how to learn more about checking your disputes. There's a video there. To learn what to do if your disputes are not removed, tells you what, there's a short video. Okay, go back up. Okay. How to remove medical collections. Keep going. Everything, we got videos on all of them. So everything you need, go higher. Stop right here. Okay, because some people are going to say, well, I just dispute on the credit repair on the credit bureau's website. Okay, click on that video there that says to learn why you should never dispute on, okay, click right there.
Addendum 1. Disputing online versus disputing via certified mail. The three major credit bureaus have automated online credit dispute systems that supposedly help the consumer dispute errors on their credit reports more efficiently. However, their online dispute system exploits loopholes in the Fair Credit Reporting Act that give the credit reporting agencies an unfair advantage over the consumer.
I'll just tell you. Okay? Basically, what happens is when you dispute by written letter, they have 30 days to answer. Okay? If they don't, they have 30 days to answer. And then secondly, they got, if they don't remove it, you can go to the next process, which says, tell me how you verified it was mine. If you dispute on their website, electronically, that's the end of it. You have no recourse. So obviously they want you to do that, though. Obviously they want you to do that. Okay, so so we got letters for everything. We got the whole system, line by line, step by step, to help a person improve their finances. Okay, go ahead. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and you know, and the way that I tell people, I said, look, how many hours would you put in for $500,000? Because poor credit's going to cost you $500,000 minimum between equity that you don't get on a house, overpayment of interest, all of that together is going to add up to $500,000 or more in your lifetime. Okay? So that's our credit repair system. Yes?
So you should send these letters certified?
Yes, you should send them certified. You don't have to, but it's better to do so. You could just mail them, but you know, to certify. And in that video, we'll go into detail telling you how to do that. Yeah, good question. Anybody else got a question? Yes, ma'am. No, they can't open it. No.
Here's your thing. Then once you send $1,
Right.
you send what happened? Snakes in the bottom feeder screen by that yes. You send that, it reholds it for entire time. Okay, now we're not gonna dispute it. Once you turn on the say we'll take it off your credit.
Absolutely. Right. So as long as you don't pay, they have to remove it. And so, you know, and if it's outdated, if they can verify it, so let's say it's 6 years. If they can verify that it's yours, it stays on the report, but you still don't have to pay it. As long as you don't pay anything on it. That's what they want you to do. They want you to reopen that contract. Mhm. Yeah, that's what they want you to do.
So attorneys, other counties buy these books, and they start over, and then they start writing that. And if you send them $1,
Right, it recreates the contract. Yes, that's the idea. Uh-huh. Yeah, they can buy that debt. They might buy $100,000 worth of debt for $3,000 to $5,000 because the company already wrote the bad debt off. So they wrote it off on their taxes. Now this person got it, and if they can collect 20,000, they've made a good return, right?
So does the medical books, if someone incurred a lot of medical bills, and they can't, then they have to pay all of them. So once they don't pay it,
Then they don't reopen that contract. I don't know the website, Bob. You may know, or somebody else may know the website. There's a website for every state. It tells you how many years it is for each type of contract. It's not hurting your score. It's just on there.
so the answer is, if you have students that cannot
You can get you can get it removed from your credit report, the bad payments, because it's past the statute of limitation. But the student loan is still, you still got to pay the student loan.
I have to go back and start off with that, that particular student agrees with
I'm not an expert on student loans. There are ways to, I hear people talk about ways that they do that. I can get that information. I don't know how to do it myself, to be honest. But no, you can't. Mhm. Yeah, that strategy definitely works.
Now, what you're talking about, right, off the rent, that's something like,
Yeah, you can.
so like leadership, coding.
Yeah, that's the only one I know about is the 120. Once you make 120 payments, which is 10 years on a student loan, you can write it off. And so the idea is to, now where a business can help you, and this might be a better strategy for you, okay? In a business, if you get a lot of tax write-offs, your net income is low, right? So you can make $100,000 a year, but your net income might be 30,000. Okay. And so, especially if you're putting lifestyle stuff in there with those business write-offs, which you can definitely do. So your student loan payment would be low. So you make the low payment for 10 years. Okay? And then write it off. That's the only strategy that I know, that I've actually seen work. So you can definitely do that. Income-driven payment system. Mhm. Right. Mhm. So, so if the school was, I don't know, you know, okay. So y'all need to talk. Yeah. I don't. Okay. So she knows us absolutely. Yeah. So that's great. Congratulations. Let's give her. That's good. Yeah. So I don't know much about that part at all. So absolutely. So anybody else got any questions on credit repair? We got one more thing to do. We're done. Okay. You are correct. So what I do is this, okay, because of exactly what you're saying. Okay, I have no debt. So what I do to keep my credit score up, because even your car note, your car insurance and a whole lot of other things are on credit, right? And so what I do to keep, so I have 7 credit cards. And I use one credit card this month, pay it off. Use another one the next month, pay it off. Even for stuff like I'll put everything on that card this month. Gas, bag of chips, whatever, right? So I'm getting the 1% or 1.5% reward credit, right? And then I pay it off in a month. And that way I can keep my credit score. So, because the bottom line is repairing credit is good, but the most important thing about credit is to build credit. Mm-hmm. Build and maintain. You want to build credit. So you, like an example, I don't know what your score is, but if you wanted to be even higher, it makes sense to increase your limit. Just do one at a time, right? Increase your limit. And then also go get another car. And it just keeps getting higher and higher, So. Yes. Right.
In order to be able to strategize and plan how to spend.
And right, they don't have control yet.
Budgets need to be put in this whole thing of financial order, in terms of you can do investments, or you can put a $40 or $50 in technology, and $20 or $50 that you're spending, because we don't really see that we're spending so much.
Right, right.
We take that same $20 or $50 and use it to invest,
Absolutely,
and draw interest.
absolutely,
monthly or
absolutely. Yep. So, yeah, so a person, if they're not disciplined, then they shouldn't keep going that limit.
and trying to make the credit there, and get them all here, and they can give you credit.
Mhm. No, you won't. And if you use our system, it won't cost you anything. You know, maybe $5 in a letter or something. And so you're not gonna have to spend money to grow your credit. And in our system, we have budgeting in our system, we have tax, I just don't have time to do everything today. But the main thing, so budget is in there. And what I typically like the most is I like strategies that make us more money. Even though some people need to lower spending. You know, but yeah, that's never been an issue for me. I mean, I'd much rather have my money in my investment than somebody else's, but but we do have videos on that and systems to get that done, yes.
Then there's no interest charge at the same time on the card, it's the reward card. And so, what I would do is, if I don't get one, then I still come to me when you get the point, and I'm going to see what I'm going to do. So I go over to, I have the card, that's my number, I go there, down $150 just for it. And really, I didn't have to spend it, because I was going to be legal. You know, strategy right there.
Absolutely. Mhm. Absolutely.
Some places, well, you know, I had a question recently, we were talking about adults, like the card payout, cancel. Some places I know it's for you. You know. How
Right.
some companies tell me which one is.
Well, they just have different companies if you don't use it. So that's why I use a different card every month, so that they don't close them, because I want a good credit score.
I was thinking, like, I have like a basic income, and I know it doesn't do like 3 times. And I'm not ready to go until I get a better purchase, it's close, you do another, I'm like, I don't want to start.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. You want to use those cards at least once every 6 months, because what that does is you have another part of your score, which is 15%, is credit history. And so credit history is based on how long have you had, they take all of your accounts. So you've had this company 10 years, you've had this company 2 months, you've had this. And so the longer you've had, the higher your score. And so it's almost impossible to get to the 800s if you don't keep cards a long time. And then, so if you'll go to fidelity.com, we're going to do investing real quick and we're going to be done. But another thing is establishing our children or establishing a friend. When kids get to be 17, 18 years old, you can do even younger, but at least that, you want to make them an authorized user on your credit card. They don't get the card. Right, they don't get the card. Right, yeah, they don't get the card. Yeah. But they start building a credit score. Absolutely, absolutely. There you go. Yeah, they don't need that. Yeah, and so what happens is when they get out of school, they're not renting, making other people rent. You know, all of this, money is not really all about helping people build wealth for themselves. That's like, you know, and to me, that's a worthwhile endeavor to do. You know, I mean, we all gonna make somebody rich. I always say this: everybody buys a house. Everybody pays for a house. It's just not necessarily for themselves. If somebody rent for 30 years, they bought a house. They just don't own it. Everybody makes $1 million. Okay. Because they work. I mean, look, 40,000 a year for 40 years is 1.6. The men pay over $1 million, you spend over $1 million. What it amounted to in their name is a whole different story, right? So that's what this is really all about: is how do you make it be what you want it to be for yourself and your. Okay. All right. The last class we're doing today is going to be investing. There's a million ways to invest. Okay. Our strategy on investing is, number one, own a piece of America. And number two, it is to ride with America. You know, I know, you would think America was the worst country in the whole history of Earth, based on what some people say. You know, and I get some of that. But at the same time, there really is, you know, I mean, most people live pretty good. Even if they ain't like what they wanted to be, right? It's kind of like, I heard a guy one time, this was just before the pandemic. Nice guy. Man, he had just started getting the Social Security. He was just dogging, man. He was just dogging out Social Security. I did this and this and this and this, and I only got $1,700, $1,800 a month, $2,000. He was just dogging out the government. Well, I'm pro-America, okay? I'm just going to tell you that. You know, no, I don't like Donald Trump. I didn't like him before he ran for president, okay? I'll just tell you how it is, okay? But I am pro-America, because this is home. I was born here, so, okay. But, so he's just dogging out the government, right? And I said, well, how much did you put away? He said, what do you mean? I said, you mad with the government about how much they giving you? How much did you invest for you over the last 60 years for your return? Well, I ain't put away nothing. But now with the South, man, with the government. That means the government would have nothing, right? So, and the reason that I believe in investing with America, investing along the lines of America is that, now this part is just facts. This ain't Ivy's opinion, okay? Our economy, compared to the rest of the world, even China, is so much bigger than anybody else's economy in the world that if it was a football game, we'd be leading 42-7. Okay, it's like the average household income in America is over $40,000 a year, and the average household income in China is $16,000. Okay, and so, and they number two. So everybody else way behind, right? So my point is, if we're looking for investments, because I can't deal with the emotional aspect. You know, that's what everybody got to do that. But I can deal with the factual part. I can do the math part. So when I invest, I want to do a return on my money.
Right.
Okay? So I use two funds. The first thing we do is we tell everybody that you want to get an emergency. $3,000 to $5,000. You put $3,000 to $5,000. If the washing machine breaks, you got to go to a funeral, or this happens, that happens, whatever. You ain't got to touch your long-term investments during that period of time. Because your long-term investments is going to be money that you're going to let grow for years and years and years. But your Emergency fund is going to do your put and take. Now, some people like to do their put and take account in a bank and get 2%. I don't like to do anything at the bank other than my checking account. I don't want nobody. I don't want that 2%. I mean, it's real simple to me. It's just math, you know. If I give you $1,000, and all year long, at the end of the year, you give me back $20, we got a problem. Okay, because what cost $1,000 last January, the next January gonna cost more than $1,020, right? So I'm not gonna give you my money and lose it. Okay, so I just use the bank just for checking and debit card. That's all. For investing, it's real simple. You don't have to learn to be a professional investor to get good returns on your money. You can do that simply by investing with a money management company. You need one company, you need one fund for your emergencies. You put and take money anytime you want, no penalties. And then you need another one for your long-term investing. Now, if you have a 401k or a 403b on your job, or 757 or whatever, then you can, of course, that's going to be the best place for you to invest because it's tax deductible and they pay max. Okay, so the two funds that I use, okay, let's go up to, scroll up to Fidelity. No, it's at the top. Just, you already got Fidelity, but just scroll up. We're not seeing the headers. There it is, products. Okay, in the search bar, just put FAGIX. Okay, that's the one right there. Now, I use this as my emergency fund because I get a better rate of return than I do at the bank. This is a conservative fund. You put money, only 10% of the money is in the stock market, so it's not a lot of up and down. It's just a conservative fund, okay? FAGIX, okay? It's called Fidelity Capital Income Fund. All right, now you can see we've already earned 7.63% so far this year. Now, when you start investing with money management companies, it doesn't work like the bank. If the bank says I'm gonna pay you 5% or 2% or whatever number they're gonna give you, what they're saying is they're gonna give you 1/12 of that each month. At the end of the year, you have to cover 5%. Does that make sense? When you invest in money management companies, whatever you earn is added to your account the next day. So it's a cumulative running total every day. Does that make sense? So we've already earned 7.63, and this is July. So we're probably looking at a 9.5% yield. Does that make sense? This is just a conservative fund. All right. Now, scroll down. Yeah. Come on down. Okay, that's good. I'm sorry. All right. So here you have performance and risk. This tells you everything about this fund. Now, these are you have Fidelity, the largest money management fund in the world. They manage money for governments, 401ks, 403bs, big corporations, billionaires and billionaires. Okay? So you don't have to be, all you got to do is learn how to interface with them. So let's go deal with performance and risk. Let's go down. All right, so you can see that they've averaged 9.3% since they've been in business. 9.3. Let's go back up. They've been in business since 1977, almost 50. November 1st, 1977. Okay, so it's a good fund. All right? Now, composition tells you what's in the fund. So our goal is not to just have somebody invest money. We want to show them how it works. We want them to be able to follow it and know all the inner workings. So let's go to composition. Okay. What they do in this fund is only 10% goes into the stock market. The rest of the money they're loaning it to major corporations that pay them interest, okay? Here's one, right, top 10 holdings. Ally Bank, so they loan money to over 809 companies. They loan Ally Bank money at 8%. And until November 1st, 2031. Okay, TransDigm, that's out of California. They got Bank of America. They loan them money at 5.86%. So they're loaning all of these companies money. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, that's Chase. Okay? You can see that most of the money is in bank debt. That means they're loaning the money to banks. Okay? Corporations. And 10% is into the stock market. So it's a conservative fund. You know, you could expect 7 to 10% a year on your emergency fund. You take money out anytime you want to, no bill. You can hook your bank account up to it and transfer the money that you want to take out to your debit card. It takes 24 hours and go to the store and swipe it just like that. Or you can have them ship it back to your bank account. So it's simple. It's an emergency fund. You want 3,000 to 5,000 here. This is where your emergency money goes if, you know, the car break or something happens, you need some money. Everybody got it? So you got it. You know, and so I like that particular fund for that reason. Okay? Now, with Fidelity, the reason that I use Fidelity is that I used to use Vanguard, T. Rowe Price, good companies, Fidelity. But I switched over to Fidelity years ago because I wanted anybody and everybody that wanted to start investing today to start. Okay? Click on fees. Let's try fees and distribution. Okay? No minimums. Person can get started with no minimum. They start with $10. So you can put your kids in this if they want to get it. You want to open up an account for your kids. Okay? So, no sales fee. They'll manage your money for you for 0.72. That means because they'll charge you $7.20, demands $1,000 for you. That's less than 1%. So that's, you know, you're getting professional money management. So I always say, I invest like I get my car. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to learn it. I just don't know. You evaluate the price. And then reduce the cost. You're not paying on time. Does that make sense? So, like I see all those people that start investing. Well, I want to buy courses and all this stuff. They don't know anything about investing. Well, if it takes them 5 years, 10 years to learn investing, all those years they make mistakes. So they should be investing with a company that provides that service for them, even while they're trying to learn with a little bit of money on the side. Does that make sense? I know so many people lost tons of money during COVID trying to be investors. But they don't know what they're doing. But you can hire a professional money management company. And here's the difference between a company like Fidelity, which is called a professional money management company, is that by law, they have to show you all the history of all of their investments since they've been in business. Every one of them by law. Okay? They even, okay, go back up. Click on the end out there where it says the 3 dots. Right behind them. Right behind, Click on commentary. They tell you who the money manager is. Typically it's a team of people. You can scroll down. You can send in questions and about what they're doing, how they're managing your money. You can get your money managed quality. You can check it on the web every day. Every Monday through Friday. So you know exactly what's going on with your money. Does that make sense? That's professional money management. You get the same funds that millionaires and billionaires get. corporations, cities, counties, states. Okay? So that's good. All right? All right, so then the other one that I believe in long term is a simple way to invest. You know, I mean, there's lots of good investments out there. If a person is good at investing, will do. But if they don't know how to invest, I would say get a fund like Phaedrix for the emergency fund, and then go get them an S&P 500. Okay, they take a little bit of your money and put it into the 500 largest public companies in America. If you got a 401k, they probably got a S&P 500 fund. That's real simple, right? So, like the biggest company is going to probably be Apple. Okay, so if you got $500 and you put it into an S&P 500 fund, you know, if it was all done evenly, then each company would get $1. But that's not the way they do it. It's weighted based on the size of the company. So if you had $500, Apple might get 40 or 50 bucks. The smallest company might get 35 cents. But that's still a multi-billion-dollar company. Does that make sense? Now, so to me, what that says is this. Okay. If I'm riding with America, then for me to go down America, I don't think we're going to run that easy. I think the Lord bless America. Always enhance. And we'll continue to do so. Because I suspect that people go to these other countries, they find out they're too rosy. You know? But, and so, and these 500 largest companies in America, they do business all over the world anyway, right? These 500 companies might be doing 20, 25% of business in the world. So to me, that's a real simple proposition. And then the last thing that I think about it is, so go up to the top in the search button and put in FXAIX. Is that, so that's the emergency fund. A. Mhm. That's it right there. Mhm. Okay, scroll down. Okay, so I mean it's up, it's down. You know, some years are big. Now it's averaged over 10%. Okay, you see it's up 19.57 this year. The last 3 years at 14.59. We went through some pretty hard times the last 3 years, didn't we? But America came through all right. 12.29 for the last 5 and 12.85. So when I look at it, is this. First of all, if these 500 companies are in the dumps, you're not going to have a job anyway. Do you remember back in 2008 when the economy was just a little rough there for a little while? And I remember I was up in Michigan, I was in Indiana, and the car industry was really in bad shape. And there were churches that were closing the doors. I had never seen it. I couldn't even imagine that before that. But I saw that with my own eyes. Churches that actually closed the doors. Towns were drying up because the carpenter was gone, right? And so what happens is that these 500 companies go down. Everybody in the world don't have a goal. You know? So I just ride with them and be happy. Instead of trying to pick the number 1 company, the number 5 company, or the hot button, I just ride with this, right? Now, so let's click on performance and risk. You know, and there's a lot of companies, but just about every major investment company has a S&P 500 because the computer just doesn't work. It's simple, right? All right, so you can see they've been around, they've averaged 10.59, scroll up. Been around since 1988. So 35 years or so. You know, that's a good, solid return, 10.59. Most people didn't get 10% plus on their money for the last 35 years. No, they just ride with this, okay? Let's go back. Let's look at the management. Now, all this is all stock. So that's why you want your emergency fund of $3,000 to $5,000 because this fund is going to be up and down and up and down and up and down. You know, click on composition. These are the 10. You can get a list of the S&P, but these are the 10 biggest companies. Okay, so they got 28% of the money is information technology. That's going to be companies like Google, Facebook, companies like that, healthcare, financials, all the way down. Okay, let's go look at the companies. Keep going down. No, go over to that other thing and pull the whole. We just go see who the companies are. Okay, stop. Got Apple's number one, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, Tesla, so on. Okay, click on the bottom down there, that little, the other one, those thing you were moving a minute ago. See, Meta, that's Facebook, Google, Alphabet, Berkshire Hathaway, United Healthcare, keep going. Okay, so, you know, that's pretty simple, right? So now what we can do is we can get to a solid foundation of investing. Put money in every month, grow your investments, do credit, build business, make money, enjoy life. That's not good. Okay? Go up. Let's look at the management fee on this. What they charge you to do. Okay? Fees? 0.015. So, on $1,000, they're going to charge you $1.50. And man, y'all want it, right? Professional money managers take the money out whenever you want. If you want to make it an IRA, if you don't have an IRA or a 401k or 403b on your job, then you know you can do it here. But most companies have a 401k or 757 something. You just do it there. Just get the S&P 500 fund. You can do it that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, without a bill. You can do it on your own. Either way you want to do it. Yeah, at some point. No, you can do this even if you want to. Right. Yeah, because here you wouldn't be doing a 401k or 403b. In other words, you can get this fund, a person can get this form and make it a 401, and make it an IRA or a 401k, or they can get it and not make it that. So in your case, since you're getting disability, you would get the same fund and you just would make it an IRA. Mm-hmm. So yes, you can do that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so the idea is once you do your emergency fund, then, and that's where the phasage comes. It's more conservative. It's not up and down as much. That's your short-term put and take. This is your long-term wealth builder. See, here you want to just make monthly investments and let your money grow for years and years and years. You know? So that way you don't have to worry about all those, you know, how much I got to pay in taxes this year, next year. But this is a long-term investment. Yep. All right, so who's got questions? We got about 10 minutes for questions and we're done. Anybody? Yes? Because this is all stocks. The S&P 500 is all stocks. No, Fidelity is the largest investment company. They're based out of Texas. Yeah. So they're similar to Raymond James, but what this company they actually manage the funds, where is Raymond James is more on the brokerage side. They're typically selling the investments. Mhm. Yeah, because when you go through the Fidelity, your fees are going to be less, and you can manage it all right online every day yourself. Yeah, mhm, yeah. If you got questions, just contact us. We'll do a private Zoom and show you how to do it. Mhm. Yeah, and so the reason is like, okay, like this is okay, like I gave you an example. Scroll down a little bit. You see up there where it says scroll down. Okay, go. I'm sorry, just down. That's why I lost my other computer person. So I was doing my own. All right, stop right there. Okay, you see right there where it says 14.59 last 3 years. Now, I bet there were days in there where it was down 20%. Okay? Because remember, it's stock market, right? And what happened during COVID? You know? Well, everybody can't handle that, right? I mean, they get nervous, right? And so, to me, this is the long term. And then the Phagix, which doesn't have much, this one got 10% stock, it's steady, you know? You know, and so what happens is most people make their biggest mistakes. When the market is down, oh, they're scared. That's when they should be buying. But they don't. You see? And so we use this as say, okay, just get on a consistent investing within monthly, and that time and consistency take care of you. And then you know you've got the emergency fund, the Phagix, for any short-term needs you have. And that way a person can make fortunes. Like people made fortunes during COVID. I mean, think about it. Interest rates was 2%. You know, but most people were afraid, right? And, you know, so it was a time to make money. Bob, you had something you were going to.
Those that did not sell, it's too late to get out and get them out. Why would they leave them out?
Yep.
So they lost 6% of the value. But there's people lost the cash in 2013, 5 years ago, all the money that happened. There were some who did not choose to I'm going to go to the store and the finance. After I get them out, it's $12. Thanks for the whole thing. Now I can save $7. $1.4 billion.
or do your court tax start from 9
Absolutely.
So, you know, what you sell.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, so with our system, it's just gonna operate around all that. You know, you ain't gotta worry about it. Just like time, I mean, it's just like your house, right? You just pay your mortgage and live in your house. And you don't worry about it. And you look up one day and the house is paid for and the value's gone up 100 to 200%, but you wasn't in there trying to take money every day or every month, right? And so that's the kind of, so investing is a mentality. You just want to get in a mentality where you're just consistently putting away money and you're going to be fine. And that's, you know, so that's the mentality that we use here at My Econ to build wealth. Okay. Well, I had fun. Y'all have fun today? Everybody learn anything today? Good news? All right. Good deal. Thank you. All right. Well, I appreciate you inviting me over. I had some fun and hopefully we can do it again one day. And you can follow up with Tony. Tony, you want to close us out? So, yeah, come close us out. And, you know, and whatever we need to get done, if we need to help some people get started, help you with your credit next week, whatever, we'll be glad to do.
All right, give it up for Mr. Stokes. Hey, this is what I've been in for the last 8 years, and I know it's a need for a lot of communities, a lot of churches need this information. So please reach out to people. We're going to be trying to do this on a consistent basis. I've been graced by the pastor of the church that we have access to be able to share the information and knowledge with other people, especially our young people. They're not going to have a clue because they're being taught by social media and all these gadgets out there. There ain't nobody talking about credit. Ain't nobody talking about trying to build any wealth. But now that we have the information in the system, we have a system in place that anybody can operate in. So this is the great thing about leverage income. You don't have to know everything. The system walks you step by step by step. We got the credit repair. We got a full business. We're showing people how to write off their lifestyle. Everybody got a lifestyle. You got to live somewhere. You got to eat. You got to live. So utilize those tax strategies that we have in the system, and everybody wins. So if nobody has any other questions or comments, anybody got any comments, I'll just leave the floor open because we got a few minutes before we close out. Comments, testimonies. Thank you, Bob. So I see we got my mentor, Mr. Andre Stinson. Would you like to say anything for you?
I've been writing about myself for about 9 years now. When I started writing, I basically I thought at a few times I used my own name because it laid out a lot of time. So I started writing my credit shop. In 2007, I lost money in credit with that. And I got my income started trying to strategy. Well, go around this everywhere we training everything like that. Before we got capital, I knew that my credit score was nothing for 18 left.
Okay, we're gonna get one more. This is my ace right here. Normally we do a lot of training online Tuesdays and Thursdays, and anytime somebody needs us. She used to be in the Birmingham Aeronautics in Huntsville. So you got any people in the Huntsville, Madison area? Melissa, would you stand and maybe say a few comments about what you've done?
Hey, everybody, it's nice to be back. I have been with the company, I trailed in I was watching for doing his testimonies on there, and I'm like, I grew up with Tony, so I'm like, I don't know how to trust this. I don't remember him being an ace male. I'm like, he kept coming out and he kept providing, testimonies, and not only testimonies, but he had like information bagged up. Nothing talking about. So I finally called him, and just like Mr. Stokes said earlier, Tony explained everything to me, and I'm a very big skeptic. So I was already prepared to be like, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work for me. So, but he's going up everything. I'm like, okay. So finally, by the end of the conversation, I had went ahead and bring back in. It was $179 to sign up. And I was like, $179 a month? And he was like, no, one time. And I was like, okay. So we walked into the whole W4 thing. This was before they had the calculator. We on a piece of paper like this. And I submitted it to my work that Monday. We got paid that Friday. I got an extra $468 on my check. Well, that's how I told him, I'm like, it worked. It actually worked. So, that's just how fast I was able to see the results. Now, at this point, I don't understand how I got them. I just got in, I haven't learned everything yet, but just seeing the results made me stay in long enough to figure out how I got them and how I can get more. So, yeah, it's been 8 years now, I'm still here. Still dealing with the professor over there. And he has such a good heart, he has helped so many people. Tony will, if we have a problem, he can put me on the spot, we have to take a place. I'm gonna pay for at least 10 people to give me a free. I'm like, nah, I can't. Let me look at that. I guess I'll do the same thing. But he really is a really good person. He keeps you motivated. So if he is here helping you, you got a good person to get you going. He definitely keeps you hyped up. You call him harassing you. Like, we going out today? But he will keep motivated in company. Like I said, I'm a skeptic. So if it hadn't been on the other level, I would be still here. And I can honestly say, I have stayed with this company longer than I have ever stayed with one job.
Hey,
Wow. I used to change jobs. For 3 to 4 years, I used at each. I started changing jobs, but I've been with this company for 8 years. I can't say that about jobs.
Now, that's the real deal right there. That's the real deal when you got people that can tell a story. Everybody got a story to tell. I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, plumber, somebody bake cakes, do feet. None of that matters, man. But like if you got a story to tell, somebody's willing to listen and just be relatable, down to earth. That's what I try to bring. I try to bring my energy. And like I said, I'm an auto worker. I've been for 25 years. So I know people that are struggling, overtaxed, overworked, underpaid. So that's who I talk to because I'm in it every day. So I can speak on it with conviction and people can feel my spirit. I'm trying to help people get out of bondage. And I know that there's some things that we have not been taught, even with degrees. They're teaching you what they want you to know, not how to elevate you and your family to the next level. They want you to keep working so somebody else can get rich off of your efforts and your energy. So create your own, own your own, whether it's real estate or this system, this business. That's what it's all about. And I'm just honored to be here to be able to share what we have. We'll be doing this a lot more. Talking to the pastor, he wants to help the community, and I think that we have the right vehicle to do it and the right people. So thank y'all for y'all time, and we'll be around if y'all need any more questions answered before we close out. Okay, Keisha, could you close us out? So okay. Yeah.
take all of that. Book goes out in prayer.
Okay, before you end, I just want to thank Pastor Paul. He is a new member of my econ, so we definitely want to be training and teaching and educating people that are willing to come in with us. So I want to congratulate you and Pastor Paul for being a proud member of my econ.
All right.
Father God, we thank you right now for this fellowship. We thank you for this time. We definitely will check out. We want to lift up this company in your mind. You know, God, we just pray that as we run and apply to our lives in this world, and our finances, God, so that we can deal with everybody in our lives. God, we're thankful for everything that you share with, especially blessings of all of the things. So we want to walk out of this door looking different, thinking different, and being different, God. Thank you for this time. We honor you and glorify you right now. We just give you all glory. In the mighty name of Jesus that we pray. Amen.
Amen.